Congrats for making your own podcast, though.
It took me so long.
It did, because I know you were trying to start a podcast way before I did.
Yeah.
I just wasn't like, yeah, why not? Let's just do it.
Yeah, and then you told me, you're like, yeah, just save up your paycheck. And I didn't save up my paycheck. I was like, you know what? I'm going to just cop it, and then we're going to start it, and then we're going to go.
And it works. Yeah. And how was the first one? First episode was good, bad, ugly?
Decent, because I was nervous for some reason. I always get nervous.
The first one for me, if you watched it, it was terrible.
Yeah.
It was trash, right?
Well, I was just proud. I was like, yes, he's doing it. Oh, thank gosh. And then I was like, it's going to blow up. I really think.
Well, the thing that's funny about that is my first episode, I had all the good mics, I had the good camera, I had everything, right?
Yeah.
But the quality still turned out to be 720. 720,
really?
The quality of the video was fine, but the audio, I didn't actually properly set up the microphones, so it was recording from my MacBook's.
Oh, so that's why it's kind of like quiet.
So that's why it sounded so weird. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you have any issues for yours though? Because I feel like I just had
since
trouble.
I'm like my mics are handheld, so you hold them to your mouth. So like Trevor, when I was recording with Trevor, he was like holding it down here, so I had to turn his gain all the way up so he could hear him. But then like since he was like under the influence, he was like every so often he'd bring it up to his mouth and he would just clip.
And you would just constantly scream
so
into the microphone?
I kept having to change the whole time. And then every time I clipped, I was like, hey, turn it down. Then I'd clip again, so I'd turn it down more, and then I wouldn't, then it would be super small. So I'd turn it back up, then I'd clip again, so I'd turn it back down, and I'd find the perfect spot for it.
So what did you guys end up talking about? Was it just like completely random kind of pointless stuff?
Well,
or did you ever get into a...
I got notes on my phone from some suggestions. I can't talk. That's also part of the... So I had it next to nothing because I have nothing. Mm-hmm. But then I changed to uneducated because I'm not that smart. So I can't really speak at all.
Have you seen me talk about anything super intelligent? No, I just go on rants and then it ends up working.
Yeah, that's what I like about the last one.
No, but the hardest point is all you got to do is break down. Sorry guys, all you have to do is break down kind of what you're feeling that day or what's happening in your life at that time, and just go, this is how I'm feeling. Let me kind of break it down in my head, but instead of breaking it down just solely in your head, what you do is you sit back, you relax, and you talk into the camera.
Yeah, I did. I recorded one by myself, and there were so many uhs and
that's fine. You'll get
stuff.
used to it because I still do it.
Yeah, I know. I saw you doing that, and you're like, oh, I need to stop that.
Yeah. So you gotta. It's checking yourself.
It's so hard to do because you've been doing it for so long, and it's like crazy hard. That's why I'm taking marketing because it's a lot of speaking in front of classes, and since I kind of want to be a comedian, even though it's gonna be really hard.
That's a grind, though.
I want to make sure I can speak in front of
people. You kind of want to be a comedian, or do you actually want to be a comedian?
Well, I have a bunch of plans. I do want to be a comedian. That'd be sick. I would love to go to Los Angeles and go to the comedy club and all this. So, yeah.
What do you think your stand-ups would be about? What do you think? Because I don't know. You got the cowboy boots. You live in the country. I don't know. Maybe you're Larry the Cable Guy, but I like where do you want to be? As a comedian, what type?
My favorite kind of comedians are like Andrew Schultz. He does a lot of crowd work. So like making fun of people in the crowd is the best thing.
You love that?
Yeah, it's so funny. Like it's just like being a comedian and doing that. It's like you kind of have like the ability and legality to make fun of people. Yeah,
just completely ruin some people's.
And like he's white and he's like racist but like not racist. But it's like funny because he's a comedian, so it's okay. So it's like it's really good.
So my issue right now with like today's world is certain comedians are getting so much backlash for certain
Dave
things.
Dave Chappelle, man.
Chappelle went in really, really hard.
Yeah.
And I'm not offended by it.
No.
But I can see why some people are mad.
That's the thing. I don't really get offended by anything. Like I'm a chill guy. Like I don't really care about that.
I don't care too much, but yeah, I agree with you.
So like when people get triggered, like I just love offending people. Like in marketing, the first day that I was there, I started saying, "Oh, well, like we should kill turtles. Like who cares if you're using plastic straw?"
Yeah, it's clearly a joke though.
Yeah, I know, but like I was just saying, like, well, metal straws and paper straws take more coal to create, so we're polluting the air more than plastic straws. But then again, you have plastic straws which are killing turtles. So I was just making fun of like, well, would you die? Would you rather die, or would you rather let a turtle die? And then I was saying rather have a turtle die, but like I don't know.
What was the class? Because I know in all those types of classes, there's always that one person.
Oh, there was more than one person. Also, I went in on all the girls because they're wearing scrunchies, and you know the Visco girl thing.
Oh, that's that whole meme too, man. That's all over the place now.
I wrote a really offensive joke about that on my phone, It's like really offensive. I don't want to say it, but it's
It's
super
that
offensive.
bad, eh?
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
I kind of want to hear it. Tell me off air though, because I do want to hear it.
Okay.
But that's funny because the way like society's kind of heading is everybody's getting super super liberal. But now you notice that people like our age and a little bit younger are going, no, that's stupid. We're not doing that.
Yeah.
We're not headed down that path because
Yeah.
I think everything Dave Chappelle's saying is super super funny. Or like you'll see like Tom Segura say something completely crazy and totally
Have
like.
you seen Bill Burr's new special on
Paper
Netflix?
Tigers? It's amazing.
It's so good.
And none of it's offensive because in the area that he's talking about, when he makes one of those jokes about his wife, it's not a bad joke. It's just literally what he's living.
Yeah.
And people still didn't get mad about it, but like
his last special when he was talking about, I think it was him.
Was it the cruise ship one?
I don't think so.
Yeah, whatever.
But it was like he was like talking about someone saying there should be no reason for you to hit a woman, and he was saying there's plenty of reasons, but you shouldn't do it.
Yeah.
But the person he was talking to was saying that there's no reasons. But there's lots of reasons you shouldn't. But there's a lot of reasons you could.
I am. It sounds horrible coming out of your mouth right now. I just want to point that out to you. It sounds absolutely atrocious. But if people are watching, you gotta like. It's a joke. It's clearly not something to be offended by, and that's kind of what I'm trying to get at. Is so many people are getting offended by it, and it's getting such a pushback by like if you look at like TikTok as an example.
Yeah.
And not many people like that platform for whatever reason.
I downloaded it recently.
Yeah, I actually kind of like it. It's pretty funny.
Yeah, there's a lot of funny stuff in it.
Yeah, the people on it though, it's so dark.
Yeah.
It's bad, and that just kind of shows like there's people are getting funnier and people are getting darker and people don't care that much about other things, and that's kind of where I like kind of what everything's happening. So for you and your humor, are you gonna stay PC or are you gonna be one of those guys that just goes full tilt like Dave Chappelle?
Probably full tilt like Dave Chappelle, yeah.
Full tilt, like, because I know Andrew Schultz just goes to town on people.
Yeah. And
like, he was making fun of a guy in a wheelchair, which was pretty bad, but...
Yeah, and also, the one thing I watched on YouTube of him is some girl had a seizure, and then he was, like, worried, but then after it's done, he started making fun of her, which is the funniest thing, because everyone knows it's a joke, but, like, he's saying it, and it sounds pretty mean, but at the same time, it's funny, because he's just making fun of it.
So, for you, the dream is to be a comedian, kind of try like those guys, but what... Yeah. Everybody's got to have a backup plan. What do you want to do if it doesn't work out and you can't make it to California?
Well, hopefully, if I can get an 80 in math, I'll be taking architecture so that I can take over my dad's company and then make it bigger and then be my own boss, because you need an architect and an engineer to kind of like be the boss, because those two people are like the reason that buildings exist, because the engineer and the architect.
Yep.
So I want to be the architect, and then I need to get like a buddy or something to be an engineer, and then we could be our own bosses. We work together and we have this whole company. Like my dad's buddy had his own business and it went under bankruptcy, and he told me because the reason he went to bankruptcy is because he was trying to compete with higher up general contractors.
Mm-hmm.
But I was thinking there's no way. They like it's construction. I don't think the higher up general contractors would be like, yeah, let's put this guy in the hole. Like that doesn't make any sense. But it actually
does make a lot of sense.
Yeah, but the real reason was financial troubles, but I'm not going to talk about it.
Yeah, okay, yeah, that's depressing. But, like, that happens a lot, but you can see that even just with other people. Like, people just say, oh, I don't like this person, so that guy probably did some shady stuff. Or, not shady, but, like, he probably pissed off the wrong guys.
Yeah.
And they're just like, oh, let's just take all his customers. And you see that in school. Don't you see that in school? You piss off somebody and they mess with you constantly.
I'm a chill guy. I don't really mess with people.
Well, if you want to be a comedian, you got to be busting balls constantly.
Yeah, I know, but like, I do make fun of people, but they don't really joke back because they know it's a joke. Like everyone knows I'm joking.
That's true.
Because no one really takes me seriously. I'm kind of like the popular but unpopular kid. Everyone knows me.
Everybody,
but no one talks to me. Like I don't really talk to anyone anymore ever. I talk to like my best friends and that's it.
That's depressing.
Yeah, I just chill and I just play video games.
I just sit there, play some video games, and talk to my friend who's intoxicated.
Yeah, I don't.
Fun.
Yeah.
So, real though, are you gonna be one of those kind of podcasts where you're just constantly loaded on whatever types of things and you're talking about that and see kind of how your experience
I might not
goes?
be, but my guests probably will be. Like I hope. I like the fact that if I'm sober and they say something stupid, I can make fun of that.
Yeah.
And then it'd be funny.
So you kind of like that Joe Rogan kind of thing where you're just like, oh yeah, we're gonna have all my friends on.
If I do a solo podcast. I'll probably get high or something, like, just so I can have something to think about. Because if you listen to the first one, at the end we talk about how, like, me and Trevor are both introverts and we can't really talk. Like, we don't really have that ability because we've always been in, like, a bubble with our parents.
Yeah.
Because they don't really let us free. And plus, it's like, me and him have been friends since we were, like, this big.
Yeah, since now.
Yeah. So it's
yeah,
just,
but like that's another thing though. Like challenge it to make it burst your bubble because it's pointless. What are you doing?
That's why starting it was already bursting the bubble, because I was just, when I recorded the first one, I was just like, I don't know where to look. Do I look at the camera? Do I look over here? And like I was just scared. Like I was just, I don't know why.
Couldn't think of anything to do.
I couldn't think of anything at all.
Couldn't just relax.
I was just so scared, and for some reason I'm always scared when I talk to people. I always get cherry red in the face and everything.
Yeah, you're cherry red right now, man. No,
yeah.
I'm kidding. That's just a reflection. No, but the whole thing and I see that with a lot of people nowadays, where they just get kind of anxious when they're doing anything.
Yeah.
Like absolutely anything.
I wish like something when I was little just took me, like I was looking at someone's Instagram.
What do you mean took me? Because that sounds.
Like it took me. Like,
I know there are lots of stories of vans pulling up and kids
like,
going missing. Is that what you mean, or?
No, that's not what I mean. But like
like
when I'm little, I didn't really do much. I played hockey and t-ball, and that. I don't really like sports that much. Like, I've always wanted to be a professional gamer, but I've never had a PC, so I couldn't really pursue that. I want to get a PC so I can start doing that. But the thing is, like, now, I don't know what I want to do. Like, really. Like, I don't know how to, like, I know how to get to things, but I don't know if I want to do it or not. Like,
then just try it. That's all it is.
Yeah, that's
why you don't have much restrictions right now. Think about that.
Yeah.
What, do you have to pay rent?
No. I only have to pay his insurance and gas. That's it.
Boom. There you go. And you don't have to drive that many places if what you want to try out is all digital.
That's why I'm doing the podcast. That's like, I want to, like, that's really the start to becoming a comedian, is hopefully the podcast just gets me somewhere.
I got to tell you right now, starting a podcast is kind of the worst way to promote yourself.
Yeah, well,
possible.
It's only, I don't really feel like I have enough skills to go to a comedy place and
why not?
Stand up. I don't know.
Yuck Yucks is in Hamilton. Right 5 minutes. I'm not even joking. You think I'm kidding? All you have to do is write what you want to talk about. If you bomb, you bomb. Think about how many other comedians bombed.
Yeah,
you're not going to be perfect.
Yeah.
If you're just going to sit around and talk to your friend while they're high on your podcast and do that forever till you eventually maybe take over your dad's business, if you get that 80, it's a waste of time.
That's true.
Do what you really want to do, bro.
Yeah.
Like.
I mean, it's between that and a professional gamer. Like, I'm pretty...
And you're closer to being a comedian.
Yeah.
See? What would you rather be?
Both.
Carpal tunnel from your fingers or laughing on stage constantly with cool people?
Laughing on stage because I love making people laugh.
Exactly. Do that then. Exactly. Like, you never know because being that both fields you want to go into are super competitive.
Yes, they are.
What do you think is going to bring you more joy?
Both would be excellent.
I'd like an answer, but...
Both of them would be great, but I'd probably say comedian, for sure.
You know how many small, stand-up places there are around here?
A lot.
Yeah. Make something. Spend your weekends writing stuff down. Go through it on the podcast. Have your friends on. There you go. You're building your bits on your podcast. Go from there to the stage. Practice them. You're probably going to bomb. Then you go from there. You lose all that nerves. You continue and you're set. Then maybe you're a full-fledged comedian. Most of the time, comedians take like years.
Yeah.
You've got years.
Yeah, I've got plenty of years. I'm only 18, so. And I got lots. Like you were saying, I think it was you was saying that when you're 30.
That was me, yeah.
Yeah, and you have another 30 years and you're 60. And then you still have more.
Depending on what you're doing, yeah.
Yeah, and apparently that now with the new technology, it's going to be like, you're going to be able to live to like 150. That's what they say. That's what I read. That's what I read. Uneducated. That's what I read.
That's accurate. Okay, but where? Was this like a Snapchat thing where you just scrolled through and it was just like...
You know when you're on Google and it's like the Google News in the bottom, like kind of thing? That was there. And then I watched a video on it.
And what'd that video tell you? That you're like...
And also Joe Rogan said it too. Joe Rogan talked about it.
Joe Rogan does a lot of stuff.
Yeah, but he talked about how... I'm pretty sure he had a doctor on or something when he was talking about it. And he was like, the doctor was saying, like, modern technology, we could probably extend life and stuff. Like, I don't know.
But think about, but people in their 80s are already, like, real brittle.
Yeah.
If we go another 50 years past 100, what are we gonna be?
Yeah, but what if they make like a stimulant for your bones so like they can stay stronger longer or something?
That may be the dumbest thing I've ever heard you say, dude. I'm not even kidding.
What?
What?
Like something
They're gonna get stem cells, and we're gonna go. So steroids. You want everybody to do steroids.
Yeah.
Steroids so you live longer, but your brain is still falling apart.
Well, they'll make something that you inject every so often, and then you live longer. I don't know.
I don't want to do that. I'm good. I'm hitting 80, maybe 85. See what's happening.
I'm good with 90. I'll be done, but it would be pretty. It would be. I think
it's funny.
Cool.
Me and my grandmother have always made jokes. If she ever gets to that age where she's like, "Oh, we're done,"
No,
I'm not shooting her. She said, "We're going parachuting, but you're gonna wheel me out of that plane on my wheelchair, and I have a parachute." And I just went, that is the funniest, most dark thing you've ever said. And it's so entertaining to me. I'm messed up in that way. But it's just like, she's like, if I ever get to that point where I'm just like, I'm kind of in the chair not doing anything, just wheel me out of the plane.
That's like my mom. When we were going to Domino's one time, there was like a bigger lady. And my mom said, if I ever get that big, shoot me. And I was just like, okay, yeah, I'll do that.
How old were you at this point? Last week.
14.
So, is that something, dude? That's something you can talk about on your stand-up.
Yeah.
It's small things. Like I was thinking about it at like I like stand-up a lot. I would never do it, but I was like I always think of like bits that might work. Yeah. So and I work at Fortino's, and there's a lot of crazy people that come in.
That's the one thing. Like working at Wendy's, you gain so much stories. Like
Yeah.
I've gotten in trouble for being too nice, which makes no sense.
You got in trouble for being too nice?
Yeah.
From who?
Some lady came to the drive-thru and was like, "You're too nice. You gotta
be
tone
mean.
It down." I was like,
"Give me a burger."
Like she talked to my manager, and then my manager had to call headquarters because she wrote a complaint, and I had to talk to head office.
But being too nice. That's ridiculous. At Fortino's, there's at the supermarket. At the supermarket I work at, there's a couple people that come over. Not come over, but there's a couple of older people that show up. And they're a little strange. There's one lady that everybody in the store has pretty much experienced. And she's known as the IBS lady. Irritable Bowel Syndrome. She will tell you for 20 to 30 minutes.
Her shit stories.
Yeah, her poop stories.
That's awesome. That's so good.
She'll straight up... Okay, so I'm facing, and that's when I'm bringing all the yogurt and stuff to the front, the butter and all that stuff. Yeah. So I'm doing that for an hour. She walked with me for an hour at super slow speeds, telling me and asking me what's the best yogurt to make sure that I don't have irritable bowel syndrome. She and I literally went through each container and looked at each of the ingredients, and we looked at it, and I went, oh, I don't know, this has lower glucose and sugars and all that stuff, so it might be better for you. And I'm just trying to act fake. And one of my buddies that works there, he comes over and he gives me the eyes because he's like, I've experienced this too. It's not fun. And he goes, oh, remember to check the back. But this was like my third day at the job.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, okay, I'll remember to do that. But I'm like, I'm going to finish this first. And then I didn't realize that it was a signal. And it continues. Another 30 minutes, she talks about, oh, what is this milk? Would lactose be better for me? It's sometimes, the normal milk sometimes really does flush my system. And I'm like,
that's awesome, dude.
That's gross. No, thank you.
That's awesome.
And then I was just like, oh, I got to go check the back. And I just left. And I'm like, oh my God, is this what is this what the supermarket's going to be like? Oh, it was, you get those so many weird things, man.
That's awesome. I wish, dude.
You wish you had someone talk to you for an hour about irritable bowel syndrome.
Yes,
it scarred me.
That you grab that information and then you can tell a story.
I told you a story.
It was a great story and I laughed and it was great.
It's a terrible story.
It was so
I
funny.
would scarred, man. I don't know if I can ever. If I see that lady pushing her little chair thing, I'm out of there. I walk away, dude. She scares me.
Oh man, dude. I would say something right now that it's gross.
Please don't. I'm worried. You scare me, dude. This is bad.
That's why I think it's great.
Jeez.
My humor is definitely more so like Craig Conant or whatever his last name is. He's a good comedian too. Craig Conant. Conant? No, he's like a lower comedian. He knows Crystal Lee and all that. But
yeah.
But he's pretty funny. Like his main bit is about him farting on his manager and getting fired from whatever he worked at.
So I think that's your next goal. If you want to be a comedian, you got to fart on your manager at Wendy's.
I don't think they would do that. They're way too chill there. They're way too chill.
They would. What would they do?
Probably.
I'm not. No. We're done. We're not getting through this anymore. That's disgusting. I'm not enjoying this. Dude, you're nuts. I'm genuinely worried. You might be the weirdest guest I've ever had on.
That's okay with me.
That's at least you're chill with it. That's
also the thing. I don't really give a shit at all. You have to.
You know what? It's kind of ironic. We were just talking about IBS. If you say that.
Yeah, I don't really care. Like, I'll say whatever's on my mind. I have no filter at all.
Yeah, exactly. I get that. I used to be like that, and I was just like, oh, maybe I got a podcast.
Like,
I don't want to.
If you're around like my friend group and I was there, way worse. Way worse. Like 20 times worse.
Because there's sticks, so you got that kind of Confederate.
Yeah, I got those dude. There's just so many stories I have to tell about that too. There's a lot of gross stuff that we talk about, or I talk about, and then they get grossed out, but I still talk about it because I don't really care. Honestly, to be honest, I might have a form of autism. I have no clue. I've never been diagnosed.
Yeah, no, don't even say that. That's bad.
You never know, man.
Oh my God, man. You worry me so much. That's probably why you're going to have a good podcast. And what was it named again?
Well, first of all, it was named Next to Nothing because I didn't have anything. But now it's called Uneducated with Harrison. That's
honestly pretty good. You got to add your last name in there too. Harrison Bedford.
Why? Why not?
Because it sounds better.
No, just Harrison. Or Harry Bedford.
Who is Harrison?
Me!
No, when I think Harrison, I'm going to be like, not you.
What other Harrison do you know other than Harrison Ford? Tell me, right now. None.
Hey, Google, can you give me a list of famous Harrisons?
On the website ranker.com, they say, examples of famous Harrisons include George Harrison, Benjamin Harrison, and William Henry Harrison, but there are plenty of others on this list.
That doesn't count as their last name.
Those three.
William Henry Harrison.
That's their last name.
Yeah.
Doesn't count.
That's a Harrison.
Doesn't count.
That's stupid. All right, thank you for coming to episode... What is this? This is episode 20. Thank you guys so much for coming. We're going to end on that note before it gets weird, and I'm scared. Please help me.
Love you.
Thanks, guys. Check out his podcast. It's linked below.
Swag. Oh my god.
You scare me.
How? I'm just a great guy.